Good evening, loves, and this is going to be your goddess guidance slash divine feminine reading for this evening, and we're going to get into the cards that we pulled here. The first card that I pulled, oh, the first card that I pulled here is Ishtar. Her message is boundaries. Love yourself to say no to others' demand of your time and energy. Then I have here the goddess Kuan Yin, which is compassion. Release judgment about yourself and others and focus on the light and love that is within everyone. The next goddess is Goddess Freya. Her message is to be bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks, and be daring. The next goddess I received, this is from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, was the goddess Lolita. She's the red goddess. Her message is playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I got Kuan Yin again, the goddess of compassion, and her message here is I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Then I have Zhao Qinjing, which is the mystic of peace, and her message is I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. And then the overall message here I received was Shekinah. And this is the presence of the divine feminine. Her message is at the center of everything there is light. And I am that light. So we're going to get into the meaning of these cards. This is my new Divine Feminine Oracle deck that I just received. So I'm learning as you go. I've had my Goddess Guidance Oracle deck for some time. So we're going to do the Divine Feminine Oracle cards as the main part and read the message that these cards have for us. It looks like they still coincide because, as you can see, I received the compassion card. I received Kuan Yin twice. Kuan Yin. I don't know if it's Kuan Yin. I want to say Kuan Yin. Twice here in both the Goddess Guidance and the Divine Feminine. So I'm guessing that this is, the main message here, and this is a message that, I need to get out. So first we're going to go through Shekinah and who she is. The Shekinah represents the omnipresence and immanence of the divine feminine. The word Shekinah in Hebrew means to settle, to inhabit, or to dwell. It represents an experience of the divine presence right here in the body and in the world. In Kabbalism, mystical Judaism, the Shekinah is the feminine aspect of God, and she's depicted as a piercing radiant light. She is the experience of the presence of God within us as the soul of God. To the Kabbalists, honoring the feminine is the most utmost importance. This is why the red thread of protection is worn on the left wrist, which is the receiving feminine side of the body. In Kabbalistic teaching, the Shekinah is represented in the tree of life as the pillar of balance. She is the force that unites opposites. She brings heaven to earth, and she unites the body and soul. Because of her, there can be a direct path of communication between humanity and divinity. Because of her, we can experience God right here in this moment and right here in the body. When this card is selected here, when this card is selected in the Zohar, the main sacred text in the Kabbalah, the Shekinah is described as being a world within the world, as a bright radiance at the center of everything. All of life on earth, all consciousness is part of her light and is therefore sacred. The metaphysical theory of immanence is that the divine presence is manifested in the material world. So there isn't actually any matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also part of the divine. The Shekinah is light that inhabits your body, your cells, and is in the cells of all of the people and objects you see around you. She is also about pure experience. She is the message. The truth there is, she is the message. The truth that there is light at the center of everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad. And the Shekinah is a reminder that we are not just this body, or this pain that we might be going through, or this confusing moment in our brief life. We are light. We are molecules of heaven in human form. And right now we can just know this. We can experience the light we are, and that can be enough. That can be the miracle and the answer we actually need. Not words or meanings, but simply pure, radiant being. So, The intention with this card is here at the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. So that is the intention that comes with this card. What I gathered from this card is understand that we are beings of light and love, and we are supposed to radiate that light and love. And that light and love is in every single thing on this planet. And know that we are connected to God, and there's a light in us that connects us and allows us to be able to communicate with our ancestors, with God, with the Holy Spirit, whatever it is that you believe, whatever higher power it is that you believe in. Just know that you have that source within you. All right, so let's see what Lolita has for us. I see Lilith. I wish they would have this book. I wish they would have did like my Divine Feminine I'm sorry, my Goddess Guidance book is in order. Like this is, I have to go through the table of contents, and it's not in any, or maybe it is in a specific order and I just haven't figured that out yet. But I don't like having to go to the table of contents and coming back, going through the book to read. Okay, so the next message is Lolita. Her intention is playful. This is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. Lolita represents the spontaneity that graces a heavy moment and reminds us that joy is a powerful spiritual practice. Lalita Tripura Sundari is a Hindu deity known as the Red Goddess because of her connection to desire. She is often depicted sitting on a lotus with 16 petals, known as the fulfiller of all desires. She is holding a golden bow that represents the mind and 5 golden arrows that represent the 5 senses. And the ancient devotion text dictated to her, the Lolita Sahasranaman, however you say that, is a list of her 1,000 names that fulfills all of the desires of a devotee simply through recitation. One of Lolita's many names is she who plays. The Sanskrit word Lila or Lila means divine play. Lolita loves when her devotees are able to move beyond dualities to the point where we are not separate from what we desire. She loves puja or ritual worship. For this reason, because it moves us from out of our ideas and thoughts of the divine and into our hearts, where we can experience the divine directly. Lolita is known for her spontaneity and for liberating her devotees with joy. She's the consciousness that comes when we get so caught up in taking ourselves seriously that we forget the simple pleasures that sunlight on our face and the taste of a ripe strawberry. She's the delicious moment when we remember that we don't have to take everything seriously, especially ourselves. We don't have to be perfect or know the right, I believe it's the right answer, the right mudras or yoga poses or chants for hours on end. What's divine is inherent in us, and it's remembered, not learned. So when this card is selected, answers arrive from disengaging with the energy that created the problem and questions to begin with. We so often hold tight to what we desire with a grip that actually inhibits it from arriving. And we often take the soul by the collar and demand to know an answer right now. But when a desire is an imperative, there's an inability to be playful, imaginative, and childlike with how and when the desire will arrive. Like Christmas morning. The secret to desire is holding it lightly. The secret that the Red Goddess knows is that we already have everything we desire. So we can trust that what the soul craves isn't always has been ours. This is the levity that sparks a shift, a change, and expansion. This is the moment that we remember we are not separate from what we desire or from the divine. Lolita is that brilliant moment in a fight between lovers or friends when suddenly someone mispronounces a word and both crack up laughing. She's the levity that comes when we loosen our death-like grip on what we think we desire. She's the gorgeous, much-needed reminder that we don't have to suffer our way to what we want most. The path to what we desire and to becoming the soul we need to be in order to receive it can be paved with joy, with divine play, and with a sacred process of lightening up all along the way. So ask yourself, how can you add more playfulness to your life right now? All right, Kuan Yin, which is the goddess of compassion. Let's see. Where is she? Let loose and have fun. Alright, let's see. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Kuan Yin represents the presence that listens deeply to our prayers spoken from the heart. Kuan Yin, or spelled this way with a K, is an incarnation of Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. She is known as the goddess of mercy and is considered to be the most beloved Buddhist deity. Her names translate into Chinese as the one who perceives the cries of the world. She is often compared to the Virgin Mary in Christianity because she intercedes on behalf of those who call out to her with humility and sincerity. Okay. Don't want to get into the history. Let's get her message. So when this card is selected, Kuan Yin is about the deep medicine that comes simply from being willing to bear witness to someone else's pain. To really listen, we have to move from ego to the soul so that the story we are listening to doesn't become about us or trigger us. Oh. This also applies to the moments when we are listening to the story we tell ourselves about who we are. We are often far harsher and less forgiving to ourselves than we would ever be to someone else. Kuan Yin suggests that we listen simply with curiosity. Curiosity allows us to detach from needing to take the suffering of someone we love personally. Curiosity is a door that leads to compassion. It frees us from feeling as though we have to react to what we hear or defend or explain our part in their suffering. We can just perceive the pain that they are in. Or we can finally hear our own cries of despair and not seek to judge or justify them. We can just be present to what needs to be heard. Kuan Yin is the powerful energy of giving witness to our own or to someone else's suffering. Often just the calm, abiding presence of compassion is all that is needed to transform that suffering into clear light. So ask yourself, what pain or suffering can I listen to now with curiosity? The reason why I made those noises is because being an empath or a light worker or a shaman, or I don't like titles, I just know that I have a gift and God has shown me many a times my purpose, and I'm right now beginning to walk into that purpose. So I'm learning some things and I'm coming into my power and I'm starting to feel things and I'm becoming more sensitive. So as people are coming to me that are seeking, I don't want to say necessarily seeking healing, because they might not know that I have these powers, but that's why they're drawn to me, because I have the ability to help them through those issues. It's hard when you're an empath to not take on other people's energies. Like right now, I feel so drained from taking care of myself and then taking on all this other stuff, and then trying to, even these readings, I have to take on a certain amount of energy to be able to pull in the message that God or our archangels or our ancestors or our spirit guides is asking me to relay. So with this message is saying that you don't have to become people's problems to be a good listener or to be a friend. Learn how to be a friend and just be an ear or a shoulder, and not pull yourself into people's issues, and know that it's okay, and that you're still being a good friend and being a good person by still being that ear. Okay? So the next message is from Zhao Kuan Jing. All right. And our timer is going to go off, so let's try to make this one not as long. 158. So she is the mystic of peace, and her intentions are, I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. She embodies the unwavering tranquility that exists deep beneath the turbulence of our daily thoughts. Zhao Kuan-jing was a 12th century Taoist mystic and prophet. The night before her son's birth, she had a dream that she was immersed in red mist. This is a very auspicious sign in Chinese culture. The title given to her as a master was Free Human of Mystic Peace. The emphasis in her poetry was the power inherent in stillness. The secret of the receptive, she writes, must be sought in stillness. The way, or Taoism, is a spiritual practice of clearing the mind so that when we take action, it isn't from the ego, it's from the source of life itself. The pedal of awareness is steady as a boulder. Zhao taught that meditation allows us to disengage from the surface drama of the ego. Let's start over. Zhao taught that meditation allows us to disengage from the surface drama the ego can invite us into. She often refers to the moon in her poetry because this was the symbol of internal sky, or the freedom we can reach if we stop looking at the light or shadows of the moon cast and see the moon itself. Albert Einstein, okay, so when you select this card, Albert Einstein reportedly said that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. Clarity only comes from clarity. There is a peace and calm that exists from beneath the constant banter most of us listen to all day within our minds. Juguan author Clarissa Pinkola Estes calls it the river beneath the river. It's the steady flow of the universal life force that wants us to reach our goal if we can only get still enough to merge within it. Wu Wei is Taoism translate as doing nothing. It is the sacred feminine art of trusting the force of light that exists within us all. Zhao mastered the spiritual practice by calming her mind and experiencing the still center that's at the eye of every storm. Zhao is called for us to be still, to do nothing other than shift our awareness. Come out of the current state of mind we're in before making any moves or decisions. She reminds us that we only want to take action when what is moving us is the force of love at the heart of everything. So ask yourself, enter the heart and ask to experience stillness. Repeat the mantra, I am peace. So what I'm getting here is there's a situation at hand where someone may be going through something, or you're coming into, your awareness of what you're actually going through, and bringing all of your pain and everything to the surface. And sometimes you just need to be still. Sometimes you don't need to act on it. Just pray and meditate, and let the universe take care of it. Let God take care of it. Let whatever it is you believe in take care of it. So this has been today's Goddess Guidance / Divine Feminine Oracle reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please comment. And thank you again. Be blessed and stay blessed because you are blessed. Bye bye.